Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. Thank you for joining me. It's Tuesday, December 2nd. I have some fun Christmas projects to share with you tonight. I'm excited to show you everything. How's everyone doing? It's actually cold in San Antonio right now. I think it's like 47 or something, which is cold for us. I mean, I had to put on a coat, so kind of crazy that we're a little bit cold, but I think towards the end of the week we're going to be back in the 70s, so I'm super happy about that. Let's see, what else? I think I just want to get right to the stamping tonight. There's a lot of coloring, so we can talk more during the coloring parts. All right, let me make sure I come up first. All right, come on, third time's a charm. All right, I'm gonna have to go to my page. There I am, I'm really live. Okay. All right, I'm gonna turn my camera around. I'm gonna show you some things. I wanna do a reveal for anybody who didn't get my kit. Hi, Lisa, thank you, good to see you. So I had offered a Modern Christmas mystery box. All the kits went out already. Oh wait, you can't hear sound? Hold on, let me turn on my iPad and see if I can hear myself. Hello? Hello? Okay, I can hear myself on my iPad. Interesting. I hope y'all can hear me. So anyway, I had a Modern Christmas mystery box, so I want to reveal that tonight so everybody can see what was inside. Okay, good, we're good. Sounds great. So let me turn everything around and we'll get started for tonight. All right, let me get this moved over a little bit. All right, looks pretty good. I think I can go a little bit lower. Okay, hi Roz. All right, you guys, Cyber Monday. Don't forget about, this started the 1st, it goes through the 9th, prepaid paper pumpkin subscriptions. Let me go a little bit higher just to show you these things. Hold on. Sorry, I'm messing with the camera. Okay, I got mine today. I've never done a prepaid before. It seemed like a good idea. So Lisa, I'm glad you liked the mystery box. So I did the 6-month, but it's a pretty significant saving. It's $40 savings. So that's the one I went with. I just signed up today, canceled my other subscription. So I think that's really fun. So a reminder about that. Today, the product of the month started. So every month, Stampin' Up! Is going to have a product of the month. This is, you can see the picture of the product for this month. And, hold on, I'm moving again because we're pretty low, not quite right. Anyway, it's $5 when you spend $75, and it's just while supplies last. This product of the month is called True Blue Florals. It's 12 by 12 designer series paper, and it's very, very pretty. I love these small patterns. It's just a beautiful blue paper. You can see they've done a couple cards here that look really nice. So that's something that started today. Also, here's another picture. You can kind of see a little bit more up close. 2 new kits came out today. The As You Grow kit that looks really cute. And it looks like it coordinates with that new, I don't know the names of anything yet, that little cute little bug kit suite that's coming out from Stampin' Up. I think that premieres in January for online exclusives, unless you're a demonstrator. The other kit that came out right now is Banner Botanicals. So nice pretty flower cards. So those are the 2 new kits that just came out, and I'll put those in my email. Hi, Renee. Okay, let's talk about the mystery box. So this was the Modern Christmas Mystery Box, and I'm just going to kind of reveal, show you what was inside if you got this. And by the way, I still have a couple kits left. I always cut extra just in case someone doesn't get theirs, but everyone got theirs, so I have a couple extra if anyone's interested. So on the outside, this didn't fit in the box, so it was shipped on the outside of the box. We had the Designer Series paper, a half pack of that came in the mystery box. And then we'll open it up and show you what's inside. We have this pretty Christmas paper. Everything is gold and black themed because it went with the Modern Christmas suite. So let me show you what was inside. We have some really fun, some mints with the theme. We've got some nice chocolate stars. Okay, these were just a couple of little pillow gifts. So you were getting this little gift right here, which is a little gold eye patch, energizing eye masks. So that's one of the little gifts that I included in here. I also included, let me just get to the gifts, right? This little ornament that says "'Tis the Season." So that was pre-made in your kit for you already. And then the third little pillow gift was this pouch right here. So just a little pouch with a pretty gold Christmas tree on it, a little zippered pouch to hold things in. All right. And then you also got, for supplies, in addition to the DSP, you got a pack of the flower accents, a pack of the black and white gold and gold baker's twine. So that came in also. I included a little hand sanitizer for one of the projects, some stars, a little dome, and even though this wasn't part of that suite, you could still make it because I pre-cut the outside for you and then just included a dome so you could make a shaker, and this little notebook. In addition, you got, just like on my normal kits, you got all the pre-cut cardstock to make the projects. There were 4 cards in here. There were 2 additional projects, so a total of 6 projects in the kit. And it also, in addition to the instructions, you got a cutting guide to cut the DSP. So let me show you the projects. Let me put everything back in here, and then I'll show you the projects that that you can make from the kit. So this was the shaker card that I was telling you about. So that was one of the projects, and I pre-cut this out. Super easy to assemble. This "'Tis the Season" card was one of the projects. This gatefold card was another one. I really loved the black and gold. I thought the whole theme was very pretty, right up my alley with the black and gold. We made this beautiful card right here. And we made this cute little notebook, which I think is perfect for a shopping list for Christmas. And then lastly, we just made this little holder that holds the In the Stars sanitizer. So those were the projects we made. So like I said, I still have a couple of kits left. If you're interested, the kits were, let me get my price out and see again. So the cost was $56 plus $11 for shipping. So $67 total. All right. If you're interested, just email me on that. Now let's talk about tonight's projects. So I love this Festive Friends bundle. I think it's so cute. So let me just kind of go over what we're going to make tonight. We're going to make this little snowman card that says "'Tis the Season." We're going to make this gift card holder, "Santa's Coming to Town." And that opens up like this, and we put our little gift card right in here. I think this is a really fun one for Christmas to give away. We've got our little elf friends. 3 little elves on the front. And then we have this little treat box right here. And inside we have a Little Debbie Christmas tree cake. So I think that's fun. All right. Let's get started making some cards. If I remember how. So I was in Chicago for Thanksgiving. And yeah, I didn't get to stamp at all. I didn't stamp. So back to stamping. Okay, we're going to start with this one. And I want to show you, this was the first card that I made with the snowman. But when I first made it, I made it in a different color. Let me scooch this down, Max, so we can see things a little more up close again. So I started with this color, and I didn't intend for it to be the whole theme, but I just thought, you know, let's do something different. So I was just using the Shaded Spruce and the Berry Burst, and I kind of like it. I still kind of like it, but when I put it with the rest of the cards that were all red and green, it looked like, you know, it just didn't belong. So anyway, there's the alternate card with the Berry Burst. We're going to make it tonight with the red. If you get the kit this week, I'm going to be sending the red. All right. It's kind of funny too, because I made all these cards and projects, and then I realized I'm like out of real red, so I have nothing left. I used every last sheet that I had to, but I have more coming tomorrow. It was supposed to be here today, but my order isn't coming till tomorrow. So that's kind of a bummer, because in addition to being out of real red, I'm also out of this DSP pattern right here. So we're going to use a substitute. But if you get the kit, you're going to get this DSP pattern. It's coming to me tomorrow. Okay, so that is our first card. Let's get out the pieces. Do you guys have this bundle? It's an awesome bundle. I love it. I think the figures are so cute. It's called Festive Friends. It has kind of small sentiments. So I did add a couple sentiments from some other sets. But, you know, these are, these look small. These are at 90%. When you actually use them, though, I feel like they're a lot bigger. We have this cute little Christmas tree, which I ended up not using, but it's very cute. And I love this little stamp with the snowflakes. I just think it's really fun. It comes with the matching dies. So in this die set, we have dies for the three figures, some Christmas tree dies. We have this tag die and this little tag topper die. And then we have some little, this snowflake right here is awesome. I love the snowflake. I think it's so pretty. And then we have some other little dies that cut out kind of, I don't know, would you say these are snowflakes, or they're, I don't know what the word is for them, but really, really cute. Like every die in here is awesome. Love it. All right, let's put this aside for now. Make some room over here. Okay, so I also, for this card, I used the traditional labels, which I've used this one before, and I stamped "'Tis the Season" on the bottom. So that's what we're using for that. You know, we all have a bunch of sentiments, right? So use whatever sentiments you want. And then last time we had a live too, I talked about this set, Words for the Season, because I like the inside greetings. And so I'm using this one again that says, "May your holiday season be filled with joy and happiness" on the inside. Again, use any sentiment that you want. You could just put a Merry Christmas on the inside. You could put a Happy Birthday, especially with the snowman card. All right, so here are our pieces. Okay, so we are going to start with a basic card base. And I have Garden Green right here. In the kit, though, so I'm changing things up a little bit. I've got Garden Green here with this DSP. In the kit that I'm sending to people this week, I'm going to make this Shaded Spruce card base that kind of coordinates, I feel like, a little bit better with this background. For this card tonight, as an alternative, I'm going to be using Garden Green, 8.5, 5.5, square to 4 1/4, because I'm substituting with this DSP right here tonight. Okay, and this DSP is from the Christmas Tags and More Designer Series paper. Remember, we have all these fun patterns in here. So that's where I got this substitute DSP for tonight. All right, so we've got this piece. So this piece right here, 5 1/4 by 4. This piece is 5 by 3 3/4. And we're going to start building on this piece right here. So other pieces that we have, I have a couple pieces of basic white. And this is going to be our snow at the bottom. So this piece of basic white is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 and 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. And we're just going to layer these up after we rip them. All right. So we've got that. Now we have some other pieces. This is just a scrap of basic white, and we're going to use this to stamp our snowman and color him. We're going to use the Shaded Spruce and the Garden Green for our trees. So I cut a total of 3 of the shaded spruce trees, and you can just do them like this when you're die cutting. So die cut yourself out 3 shaded spruce and 1 garden green out of this one, and then take this other tree and do a garden green out of that. All right. So that's what all these pieces are. And then this silver piece right here, I took one of these little dies right here. It's this one. And cut it in the silver, and I'm going to use this for a little star at the top of the tree. And then it also cuts out these little tiny pieces that I kind of put at the bottom, just here and here, just as a little accent. Okay, so that's going to be all of our die cutting right there. And let's stamp. Let's take some Memento and stamp our snowman. These, like I said, these are really bigger than I expected them to be when I started stamping them. And so they're super easy to color. I didn't get crazy with doing a lot of blending. I just stuck to kind of the single colors. And then I was also, hi Kelly, I was also able to do a little blending with just going over a second layer of the same color. So I'm going to do, I have dark real red, and I'm just going to do the scarf and a little bit of the hat. So as I'm coloring, let me tell you guys, so it was kind of crazy in Chicago. I'm sure a lot of y'all got snow too, but they recorded 8 inches at O'Hare, so it snowed all day Saturday while we were there, which was fine because we were able to just stay in the house, have a nice fire, enjoy the snow coming down. Pretty fun to actually have a full like snow day while we were there. That'll be my only snow day probably this year that I get to see. But it was fun. The kids got to go outside and play in the snow a little bit. The dogs were crazy and loved being outside in the snow. They kept going in and out. And, of course, making everything super wet in the house, which was kind of crazy. Because, you know, their fur is a little bit long. And the snow was just wet snow sticking to everything. But kind of fun. I am using, we don't have a garden green blend, so I'm using the light shaded spruce to put my green in. So that was fun, but I feel like it backed things up at the airports a little bit. So we flew out Sunday night to come back here, and everything was going good. Our flight was on time. We're getting ready to board in about 45 minutes, and then kind of all hell broke loose at the airport, and they closed all the runways, not because of snow, but because there was a disabled plane on the runway. So that was closed, and then they just started changing gates and flights and this and that, and it was crazy. So I ended up getting home yesterday at 4 in the morning. I slept for 3 hours and then went to work. And then I had a work meeting last night, so I didn't get home till 8:30. It was kind of crazy, but I'm feeling pretty good today. I feel like I got caught up a little bit on sleep last night. 6 hours was heaven compared to 3. Okay, so here we go. Like I said, super easy coloring. Let's just do the thing here. Kind of crazy. I usually don't have trouble when I'm traveling. I've been very lucky in the past with flights and things, not getting delayed. And okay, here's all the pieces that we talked about. So we have our shaded spruce trees, our garden green trees. Take your die and die cut out your snowman. So we have our snowman die cut. For the silver, I have the little star that we're going to put on the tree. And then a couple of those other little tiny pieces that I'm sure I'll lose before I get them on the card. Just you don't have to put them on, but I just thought it was kind of a little bit of a fun accent. Okay, so we've got all our pieces. We're ready to build. I'm just going to do a little bit of tearing for our snow. So we've got that layer. Let's do the next piece. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to put this down with some seal. And I'm going to leave a little bit of room along the torn edge because I want to tuck some things possibly behind there. So let's just line this up right here. Put the next layer on. Like that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forget this every time. I've made this card 3 times now, and I forget to stamp every time. So I'm going to take some real red and stamp our sentiment right down here in the snow. If I mess it up, that's okay. I can just cut another piece and just make it a label, right? So that's no problem. We're going to do 'Tis the Season in real red and stamp it at the bottom. Okay, now we're ready to start placing our pieces, and we'll start in the back. So I'm going to put this little Christmas tree a little bit hidden in the snow in the back. So let me get some glue started. Did y'all have a nice Thanksgiving? Hi, Barb. I hope everyone had a great holiday. Is everyone tired of turkey now? Ate a lot of turkey. Just a couple of dots of glue here. And let me get out my tweezers because my nails just get in the way. And we'll just tuck this behind. And pretty far over to the edge, right about here. Okay, let's take another one of these and we'll put it a little bit lower right over here. So we were supposed to have a party at Nicole's Saturday night. We had a nice Thanksgiving. My dad came, everybody came for Thanksgiving, which was lovely. But then we wanted to see the extended family too, so we were going to have a party on Saturday. But of course we couldn't do that because of the snow. People could not drive. There was just too much snow. So we ended up canceling that. All right, make sure that's kind of sort of straight. Okay, next let's put down this garden green tree. And I guess I could have just used seal for this. Meatloaf, that sounds amazing. We're actually having meatloaf this week. Sounds so good. I guess I'm going to put this on top right about here. All right, where is our cute little Santa? And I'm just going to tuck the Santa a little, or I'm sorry, the snowman a little bit in the snow right here. Can't keep my figures straight. This is not a Santa. Let's not be silly here. Okay, there we go. All right, let's start attaching some layers here. I don't know, how do you run out of red at Christmas? I know I ordered a lot before the season, but I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I'll be back in business with red tomorrow. I'm surprised. I feel like this whole season I didn't use, like, some years you use more real red, other years you use more cherry cobbler. This was kind of a real red year. Okay, there we go. Let's add some Wink of Stella because we want to make our snow very pretty. I'm gonna actually put some on the snowman too. Make him a little sparkly. And then just whatever else, I'm just gonna kind of put some in the background here. Try not to get any on my words, but just adds a nice little sparkle. Did y'all get snow where you were? Oh, I got a little bit of the red there. Can I get it up or am I gonna make it worse? Okay, now we need to embellish a little bit. And do I have an inside of this card? What happened to the inside of my card? I don't know. Let's grab another one. Do I have that written down? I do. I just didn't cut it. It's on the list. All right, 5 1/4 by 4. Let's stamp the inside, which I said we were going to do in real red. And with the nice wordy inside. And then we're just going to glue a couple of those trees at the bottom. Put one here. And then I'm going to put one just a little bit lower and cut off the bottom. I like these cute little whimsical trees. They're fun, right? They're just a little bit fun. Not your normal tree. I did, of course, bring stuff to stamp and play with while I was there, but just didn't get to it. You would think with a full snow day, I would have had time to stamp, right? But nope. All right, there's our inside. Now, on this card right here, because there were snowflakes, I took some of the basic rhinestone jewels and just put it in the middle of some of the snowflakes that were full snowflakes, just to add a little bit. I can probably still add a couple in here, but it's not the same effect with the snowflakes. But we are going to decorate the tree. For sure, let's do that. So let's start with this little starish looking thing. So did you guys see today too that more stuff was put on the clearance, the last chance list? And what made me think of it as the star, because one of the things I saw on the last chance list was those 3 little punches. And like for 3 punches, it was really cheap. Do I have them handy to show you guys? Hold on, let me look. See, they're on the last chance list and I didn't even play with them yet. Anyway, really cute. The little star Christmas tree in the stocking. So these are on the last chance and they're discounted. And who doesn't always need a star punch? So I'm super excited that I have that. Okay, so we've got our little star-ish looking thing here. I'm going to take a little bit of glue and add a couple of those teeny tiny little, what would you call these things? I'm not really sure. They're not really stars. They're kind of, what I need is my take your pick and not this. Where's my take your pick? That's what I need. And this right there. Just adds a little tiny something else. So what I used for the tree was 2 different things. My old standby, I love the basic rhinestone jewel. So I just colored some of those with the dark shaded spruce, just kind of like some little green ornaments. So I'm just doing some red and green ornaments. So let's just color 5. That should be plenty. And then I'm using these, not these, hold on. That's the wrong ones. I'm going to use these right here. And I saw these on the last chance list today too. Traditional sparkling sequins. So I'm using the little red ones. So let's put some of those on. And make our Christmas tree extra sparkly. Right here. And then we'll fill in with the little green ones. Did I move this? Cute. All right, now we can add a couple of just the regular ones here too, just for a little more fun. Got the rhinestones, let's use them, right? Okay, that's it. We're done with the first card. Super easy. Which pattern do you like better? I like the snowflakes. I just think it really adds something, so I can't wait till my new paper comes in. And did I say this is from, is it Elegant Pines? Is that the name of it? Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP. There's also this green one that's got the bigger snowflakes you could also use in the background, but I like the smaller snowflakes. Okay, card number 1, all finished. Let's move on to card number 2. Now this is probably my favorite one. We've used this before with the little gift card holder. I just think it's super fun. But a lot of people give gift cards on Christmas, so oh, okay. I'm just sorry. I'm catching up on comments. Okay, got it. Yeah, sometimes I miss being home, Lisa, but then other times, obviously I miss family and everything. But when it's cold like that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't think I could do it again. 3 inches of snow, Renee, wow. Anyway, this is one of my favorite layouts. I love this one, and it's perfect when you have a couple different figures and different things that you can put on it. So let's get going on this one. I know I'm going to have gift cards to hand out, so I need to make some more of these. 2 of them is not enough. There's a lot of pieces, but this is an easy card to assemble. Okay, so this is going to be our basic white for stamping and coloring. This is going to be the background of our card, and this is 5.5 by 4.25. Then I have a piece of this DSP, which is from that same pack that we used for the last card, which was called the Christmas Tags and More DSP. So this is 5.25 by 4. This is going to be our first layer that goes down. Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff on the last chance list there was a lot of Christmas stuff. All right, so that's kind of the background that we're going to use on that. Now, the next layer is real red, and this layer is 9 3/4 by, hold on, I see a typo, by 4.25. Where's my pencil? Got to fix that. Got it. Okay. And then this is scored at 3.25 and 6.5. And we're going to just fold it back and forth like this. And this card is going to open up like this. Okay. So those are going to be our 3 panels right like that. All right. I hate when they stick up so much. So let me do a little bit better job with my bone folder. Getting these seams to behave. Okay. All right. So we've got that. Now we've got some other layers. Let's get our little guys first. Let's get all our pieces first. So we're going to do a Santa and an elf on this one. The other ones that we're going to, we have this little piece right here, basic white, that we're going to stamp Santa's Coming to Town. And so on this one, it's a very tiny piece of white. Let's see, how big is it? 1.5 by 3/4. All right. We've got this inside panel, which is also basic white, that we're going to stamp on. And this is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. All right. So we've got these 3 pieces to stamp on. Does anything else get stamped? I think that's it. All right. Let's stamp our Santa. We're going to go ahead and stamp an elf. All right. We're going to stamp the words on this one that say Santa's Coming to Town. Got it. And then we're going to do the inside part where it says, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Right here. And then we're going to add some very unconventional red snowflakes. I am in love with this stamp though. It's so pretty. So we'll just add some in each corner. So up on this one And we'll add some over here. Okay, and that panel's done. So that's our stamping. Now let's talk about the coloring. I'm not going to color the whole thing again. So this is kind of what I did. I've got the dark real red, okay, for Santa here. I have the basic black to do his gloves and his feet. I used a little bit, this is one of my favorites, is the bronze and ivory blends. So I used that combination. I used the ivory for the face, the little Santa face. Don't forget his ears and his nose. And then the Santa's so easy. That's basically all the coloring. I took a wink of Stella and did his beard and his little hat to make him a little bit sparkly. Now on the elf, I used the Shaded Spruce Light, basic black here, the ivory for the skin color. And we have so many different skin tones. There's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, plus the ivory. So that's like 11 different skin tones you can choose from with the blends. And the blend sale, did you guys get blends while they were on sale? That was a really good deal. And so this is the bronze right here. I did his little hair up here in bronze. And then I just did a couple cheeks. So I took, this is Petal Pink. Let me check. No, wait, that's my color lifter. I don't need that. Da-da-da. Petal Pink. I used light Petal Pink because I didn't want it too dark just to do his little cheeks. Okay, so once that's done, you can let me pull the pieces for this. Here's our Santa. I still have to put some Wink of Stella on him, and our little elf. I could probably put some Wink of Stella on both. All right, so that's this. We have this for the inside, and that's stamped already. Now we need to do a little bit of die cutting. So we have some pieces. And let me just organize my pieces. So this is going to go on the top. So this is a garden green piece, and this is that same DSP that we just used. So this garden green piece is going to go right up here, and it is, let me give you the measurements here, 4 1/4 by 2 inches. We've got another piece down here, which is 4 1/4 by 3 inches. So we've got those 2 pieces of garden green. Then we have these 2 pieces of DSP, same set that they're both from. And this one is Christmas Tags and More, 4 by 3/4 and 4 by 1 3/4. All right, so those are going to be set up like this. So let me put those aside. We're going to use those. I have a piece to go behind our white layer right there, and this is also garden green, and it is 4 inches by 3 inches. All right, so we need that. The rest of this is for die cutting. So we're going to die cut a tree out of the Shaded Spruce. We are going to use this to back it, and I'll show you that in a minute. We're going to cut a Christmas tree out of garden green. So we've got that. We're going to cut 2 snowflakes out of basic white. Look how pretty these snowflakes are. Aren't those fun with the dies from that set? And let me just make another note, because did I put, hold on. I want to make sure I have this right when I send it out to you guys. Oh, I have it. I just didn't do it. 2 by 2 for die cutting. It might still be in the envelope somewhere. Anyway, cut out 2 snowflakes. All right. So all that's cut out. I think we can start assembling. Before we do that, let me Wink of Stella, our friends here. This one's hard to get to stay in the holder. Have you guys made anything with this set yet? These cute little guys. I just opened a new Wink of Stella, so it's coming out pretty good. All right, Santa is good. Let's add some to the elf. He can be sparkly too. All right. So our first layer we're going to build is this one right here. So let's attach the DSP to the garden green. And it's going to go even on all sides for the border. All right. That is going to go on this piece right here as a little background. Just kind of a little bit more towards the bottom. I don't have it centered exactly, but let's make sure it's straight. I left a little more room at the top because we're going to take some of this beautiful garden green chevron ribbon and we're going to tie it around and make a little bow at the top. I love this ribbon for Christmas. It's just been super handy. I love that it's thin. It's really easy to work with. As I say that and I can't tie a bow. If you have bow tying skills, it's easy to work with, right? Okay, that's it. We made a bow. So I want it a little bit smaller on here, although I feel like this whole thing's just a little bit loose. Okay, let's trim off the ends. All right, now we can add our little sentiment. I'm going to pop that up. Let's find some dimensionals, not the minis. Put that right there. Let's pop up Santa. And I'm just putting him at just a little bit of an angle right there. And let's put our trees on next. I'm going to put the first one down flat. Right about here. All right, now this one, so these trees are fun. You can leave it like this with the background open like that if you would like to. I put a little bit of black backing on this one. And there's some other black features right there, so I thought it looked okay, but it's up to you how you want to do it. So I'm just going to start by gluing this, and then it's just a triangle, so it's easy to cut. So I'm just going to glue it to this black piece right along the edge. So I have one less edge to cut. Just like that. And then I'm just going to cut it out. So if you get the kit this week, I'll give you all the pre-cut cardstock, the ribbon, the gems to make these 4 projects. All you have to do is spend $50 or more in my online store. And this right here is the website that you go to order from my Stampin' Up store. Order by Saturday. The kits will go out on Monday. And it's just a really fun kit. There's a lot to order from the catalog right now. We've got new kits. We've got all those products that are on last chance, and a lot of them are reduced in price, which is super fun and exciting. Buy yourself a gift. I saw the advent calendar is on last chance also, but it's not discounted. So lots of fun things still to choose from. Okay. Let's pop this up. And I think I'm going to need a mini. All right, layer number 1. Right there. All right, cute, right? Okay, next layer. I didn't do that upside down. I did it upside down, you guys. I did it upside down because it can't open like this. It's got to open the other way. So we're going to take this apart and move it to the right way because, as you know, I'm out of red. But the nice thing is I put it down with seal. And because we're humid here in San Antonio, this is going to lift right up and we're not really going to have much of a problem here. So, sorry about that. Let's get this orientation correct. If you have trouble lifting something, if you ever make a mistake like that, you can use your, what do you call it? Heat tool to kind of make the glue a little more sticky and easy to lift. All right, let's make sure it's straight. I think I want it down just a little bit more. Well, it's probably pretty good. Okay, like nothing ever happened, right? My goodness. I told you I haven't stamped in a while. All right. I don't have any leeway on the bow now because it's already trimmed. So let's see here. I got a little twisted. Okay, we're still good. All right, so this is how it's going to open like that. All right. Next, this layer and the green layer. And then you can write your greeting in there. All right. Let's center this panel right in here. All right, bottom panel. If you have a hole punch, not a hole punch, well, yeah, a circle punch. That's what I meant to say. You can take a circle punch. This is a smaller one. It's not Stampin' Up. That I had gotten on Amazon. And I'm just going to try and center it here. And just make a little notch for the gift card. And this is going to just go in the middle right here. We're going to take some glue and just do the 3 edges with a little bit of adhesive glue. And that way our gift card will fit right inside. And it kind of mirrors the panel above it. We took just to add a little accent right here. Cross like that. Is that crooked or is it me? I feel like it's just maybe a tiny bit crooked. I don't like crooked. Okay, then we're going to add our little elf guy. We'll put everything flat since it's on the inside. We've got our elf right here. We're going to do a couple of snowflakes. So, okay, let's do blue. One right here. And then we'll do the next one a little bit lower. Sure. Right there. All right. Press that down for a second. Time to get my baby wipe out. Let me just put a little block on that for a minute. Okay, so on the snowflakes then I did a little bit of a red center and I used the same embellishment that we did before. I'm going to use the bigger one this time. And just do red in the middle of the snowflake. And that's it. Really not a whole lot of embellishments on this one. I kind of didn't feel it was necessary. There's a lot going on. All right, next we want to make sure that we adhere this to the card right here. So I'm going to add a lot of adhesive here and center it. Okay. That's it. There's our cute little gift holder. Do I have any other gift cards? Here's one here. A little Hobby Lobby gift card I can stick right in here. Just like that. All right. That's a fun one, right? I really like this one. I think this one's my favorite. Okay. Card number 3. Man, it's hot in here all of a sudden. All right, we're just going to have fun with these little elves right here. and do just a nice simple card. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Didn't put anything in the inside, but you could use another one of those sentiments if you would like to. So let me get out the pieces for this one. Let me just look. Is there another good sentiment? Nope, that's not the right one. Words for the season. Is there something fun to put inside? There's so many different things you could put inside. Okay. So we're also using for this one our perennial postage dies. So we're going to cut out this big one of Garden Green, and then we're going to use, and this one for the label. And then I'm also using this big one of the Nested Essentials dies, just as a little bit of background for our elves. Okay, here we go. Inside, I'm sorry, this is for our stamping and coloring our 3 little elves. So we'll just 1, 2, 3 stamp these guys and color them. This is our Real Red card base, just a basic card base. 8.5, 5.5 score to 4 1/4. This one's going to open like this. For our layers, like I said, Garden Green for the perennial postage die, so that's going to go here. I have some more of that same DSP, the Christmas tags and more, and this piece right here is 4 5/8 by 3 3/8, so it leaves a nice little green border, and we'll put our background on there. Here's the Nested Essential die. We're going to do a little stamping on this. We're going to stamp on this one for the sentiment. This is going to be our inside, super easy, just 5 1/4 by 4, and then we have 5 1/4 by 3/4 of that same DSP to go inside. Okay, so we won't go through this whole thing. You can see these are the 3 elves. So again, I Wink of Stellium, same exact colors as our other elf for, you know, the face and the hair. I did one in dark Real Red, I did one in light shaded spruce, and I did one in dark shaded spruce. So let me bring these little guys over. So color them, die cut them, and they're all ready to go for us. We're going to stamp some of those snowflakes. Let me get my, hold on, starting an avalanche again. Okay, I need to clean off that stamp because I used it in red, and we're going to use it in green this time for the snowflake. All right, so we don't need this because we already did our 3 elves. Let's do We Wish You a Merry Christmas in Real Red. And I need to clean that one too. How's everybody doing with their Christmas shopping? Getting there? I'd say I'm about halfway done at this point. Did, you know, the easy ones first, like the kids and the dogs, and getting there. We wish you a Merry Christmas. I'm hoping I have enough Christmas cards by now so I can start addressing that, but I don't know. Lisa, I love those same stores too. Hobby Lobby, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. So fun to shop there. So good. Okay, Garden Green, snowflakes. I'm just doing a little bit for the background. And I should get a little piece of paper underneath in case we go off. I think I'm going to hit some of those stores tomorrow after work. All right, this one might be better like this. I'm going to start here in the middle because I know for sure that one's going to show. Oh, my Garden Green, because it's new, is still so inky. I don't know if I want to take the time right now to smooth out the ink. So anywhere you like. Remember, our elves are going to take up most of the real estate on here. So I'm just kind of starting with the places I kind of know they're going to show. So we can put one here and just kind of fill in at this point. See, I made a little puzzle for myself. Not cool. And now I just smeared everything too. All right, just one more off the top, then I have to quit. Okay, or maybe one more over here. Let's just, or we could just add smears to it. What about that? All right, so we've got that now. Make sure my hands are clean. Let us assemble. Inside first, because it's easy. I'm not going to add a sentiment until I figure out who I'm sending it to. Then I might stamp something in there. Or I might just write something. So we're having company, house company for Christmas. And they'll be here on the 18th. So that's like, what's today, the 2nd? So 16 days I need to have everything done by. I don't know if I can do it. And then next week, I'm not going to be live because I'm going to be in Las Vegas for a work trip next week. So, you know, that's fun. I've never seen Las Vegas at Christmas. But I'm so far behind, I'm in a little bit of a panic. So being gone doesn't help. Plus, I haven't even unpacked from my last trip. So I have a lot to get together this week. But, so then after that, the week after that, on the 16th, I'll be back. But we'll be done with Christmas by then. So I'm going to start on the calendars for 2026. So we'll do a calendar class on that day. All right, let's use some more of this beautiful ribbon. So I think that date of that one is the 16th, which makes sense because that's 2 weeks from today. Has anybody been to Vegas at Christmas? I know we're going to go, we're staying at the Red Rock Casino because that's where the convention is. But we definitely want to go to Bellagio and look at the Christmas decorations. I would imagine all the hotels have really spectacular decorations around Christmas. So that should be fun and interesting to see. All right, I got this a little bit twisted, but it's mostly going to be covered, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, I'm going to pop this up, and then we can just start building on this. Let me get this over just a little bit more. All right, time to cut the edges. Wow, okay, I'm reading your comments about how much shopping y'all have gotten done. That's awesome. I am behind, but somehow all the gifts get bought every year, correct? So I'm not going to panic too much yet. I feel like sometimes the adults are hard to buy for. The kids are easy, especially the girls. There's so many things you could get. Okay, so it's going to be hard to get this. I'm okay if it's a little bit to the right because the bow's there to kind of balance things out. So there's the background of our card. Now that's all set. Now, I'm going to just put this flat. You could pop it up if you want it to be a really... I don't know, should we pop it up or should we leave it flat? I'm not sure. Let's pop it up. What the heck? Because we're going to pop up one of the elves too. I know I'm using a ton of dimensionals here. All right, so right in the middle. Now it goes a little bit over this paper. If that bothers you, you can just kind of trim it off here. No one's really going to see it, but I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, now our elves. So I'm going to take this guy and kind of put him up here. And this one, I'm going to make sure I cover all my smudges. And then this guy can go there. So let's get these two flats, and then we'll pop up the last one. Let me go down just a little bit lower on this one. And this guy can be a little bit higher. Okay, and this one popped up. All right, I put this flat just at the bottom here. You can pop it up if you like. I'm just going to put it flat. And then because there is so much, I feel like there's a lot going on in this card. I really didn't embellish this one either. I just kind of left it is. But they're cute little guys, aren't they? All right, that is our last card. Now we're going to do our treat box. This cute little treat box, we had to put Santa on it. So let me get the pieces out for that. We're going to substitute again because I didn't have any more of this paper until tomorrow. So we're going to substitute with that same pattern that we already used. I used the ornamental Christmas just for the bee jolly. That's where I got the bee jolly from. You could put any sentiment in that you want, but I have the bee jolly we're using for that. Okay. Also, I used the die to cut out the circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. The tag is from the Festive Friends set, which I think I showed you. All right, pieces. This was my very last piece of red, and I was like, man, I better not screw this up with the cutting and the die cutting. So I did a white one first last night when I was getting this ready. And sure enough, I messed up the white one. So I was like, okay, I'm glad I did a test one before I used my last piece of red. All right, so the measurements for this are 9 1/4 by 6 3/4. On the this shorter side here, this 6 3/4 side, we're scoring at 1 1/4 and 5 1/2. So you have 1 1/4 on each side, 1 1/4, 5 1/2. On this side, we are scoring, again, we're starting with 1 1/4, then going to 4 1/4, because we went 3 inches here, 5 1/2, and then 8 1/2. And that's going to leave us with just this little 3/4 part right here. So we have like 1 1/4, 3, 1 1/4, 3, and 3/4. All right. So once you have that, and if you get the kit from me, this is how it's going to come. I will have already scored it for you, and it will be cut. So now we're just going to take our bone folder and just kind of burnish all of our folds for this. Do a little cutting, easy breezy box. I think I have 3 work Christmas parties coming up too, so that's kind of crazy. And I'm missing the big work Christmas party because I'll be in Las Vegas for that one. So gosh, that would have been 4 work Christmas parties. Holy cannoli. Okay, so what we want to do, this side, the skinny side here, that's the 3/4 side. We don't need these rectangles on the bottom, so I'm just going to cut these off. Okay, because this flap is just going to help. This is the flap we're going to put glue on, and it's just going to help hold the box shut. So we don't need these. I'm cutting both of these off. And you can see when we make our box, it's just going to go like this. So the glue is going to go here. That's just holding the box shut. Now, on the bottom and the top, we're going to cut on all these score lines. And these are going to be the flaps for the top and the bottom. Now, if you would like to, you can trim the corners a little bit of the smaller flaps, and it just makes it close a little bit nicer and neater. Make sure it lines up okay. So you can see how we've done that here. This is what it looks like so far. Let's flip it over and do the same thing on this side. All right, little corner. Another little corner, last little corner. Okay, let's add glue where we said we were going to add some glue. And let's see, what should I use? Do I have any Seal Plus handy? I don't see it. Let me just use regular Seal. I prefer to use the green glue because it holds really good, but then you also have to wait. I'm going to trim this up a little. I'm a little messy. And I don't like to wait when we're making a video. So let me just put the adhesive here. And then this is just going to fold over like this. Okay. And there we go. So there is the basis of our box. This is the back. So I want to keep that in mind when I'm doing the flaps. Okay. So I want to do the inner ones first. Let's get a little of the glue. I feel like I don't have much room. My phone's pretty close here. And we're going to put the back one in first because we have our seam right here. And then we'll put some glue and we'll have this seam face also towards the back. Okay, make sure it's lined up. For a rectangle, we're going to let that glue dry for a minute. We're ready to put our little treat in the box. All right, so let's get one out. It's just a little Debbie Christmas tree cake that we're going to use. Cute and delicious, right? So let's put that into our box. And we're just going to close it. Now, on this one, we are not going to, they need to be able to get it out, right? So we're just going to tie it shut with some ribbon. And we're using some more of that really beautiful ribbon. And we're just going to tie a bow at the top. Let me make sure I have enough to tie a bow. All right, I'm going to move it off camera for a second just to tie it because I don't want to lift my camera again. Then when they get it, they can just untie the bow and pull out their treat. And we can make it a little bit of a nice big bow right on top. All right, trim it up. Okay, there we go. We have enclosed our treat. Okay, now we want to start working on the front of it. So again, we're going to substitute this for our background. Since I don't have any more of that snowflake right now. Center that up. Here's the tag I cut out. Now, the tag that I cut out, you can see this paper. I hope you can see this paper. Has some, what do you call it? Embossed snowflakes. So let me see if I can find the paper here. This is called Silent Snowfall 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper. And this paper is awesome. You get several sheets. It's all the white, and it has these beautiful snowflakes already embossed on it. So easy breezy. I know you can't see it in the picture that well, but hold on, I just lost my tag. I think it fell on the floor. Anyway, it's very, very pretty. Okay, did I somehow manage to get my tag? Very, very pretty paper. All right, so we've got the tag. Now, you're going to take your piece of, this is going to be our Santa. This we're going to stamp on, the Be Jolly. This piece right here, you're going to take your die, and it's this die right here, and you're going to die cut this out. It's like our tag topper. So this is what you're going to get once you die cut that out. So we've got that right there. We've got this. We use this tag die right here to cut out the tag out of that paper. And then we're going to stamp and color a Santa Claus. Same thing that we did before. So here is our Santa right here. All right. We're going to do Be Jolly in Memento Black. Where are you? Right here. I need to Wink of Stella, our Santa. Good. Where'd you go? Because he needs to be sparkly. Always. Okay. So for our tag, we want to fold this in half. So I'm just going to make some little marks. You don't have to make marks, but I'm just going to do it because I feel like it'll be easier for me to fold it that way if I have something. You could also score it if you wanted to, or you could just line it up end to end, which I guess is probably the smartest way to do it. Just line it up end to end and then fold it like that. Never mind marking and scoring, just fold it end to end. Silly, silly me. And this will just glue right onto our tag. You can see there's already a cutout where this lines up. And we're just gonna glue that on right like that. Okay, so let me just add a little bit of adhesive. It's cute, right? They made a really cute tag that's easy to die cut. Obviously, you could use this for gifts and not stick it on a box. So if you have a bunch of gifts, tags to make, that's super easy. Okay, let's put this stay. Oh, I didn't put any adhesive on the back side. Huh, no wonder it's not staying. Put a little here too. And then we'll just put this down at an angle on our box. Hold on, I've got glue everywhere. It doesn't have to be really in the lines. We'll take our Santa and pop him up, and the Be Jolly and pop that up. Let me get some new dimensionals out. Did you guys stock up during the Black Friday sale? They like ran out of everything but blends, I think, during that sale, which was, you know, great if you got a discount. Everything was discounted. Time to stock up on essentials. That was really good. And I was surprised I was low on so many things. I needed dimensionals, I needed glue, I needed paper, envelopes, everything. Okay. He's going there. Be Jolly here. Now, I accented with some of these snowflakes, and this is from that Elegant Pines bundle, and these are really pretty, and I haven't used them yet this year. Faceted snowflakes. So I just took some of the white ones. There's two different sizes, or clear, I should say clear. I don't know, I said white. They're actually just clear. And put a big one and a couple of small ones. But they're just, I'll show them to you up close because they are so pretty. Come on. They're not cooperative, but they're very pretty. Come on. Is there, I think I lost my sticky. Let's get another one. Try and not get it on the paper part, Laura. Just like that. So anyway, look at these. Can you see them up front? They're very detailed. At first they look like stars, but if you look really closely, they are like snowflake cut out and then faceted in the middle. So beautiful. I can't believe I haven't used these more either. Okay. This glue, when it dries, I'll rub that off and that'll be perfect. All right, that is our last project, you guys. Yeah, Lisa, when everything was sold out, it was like, okay, everything's gone. There's nothing left to buy. And how long is it going to take to get that stuff back in stock? Because people need the basics, right? So hopefully they'll be able to get that stuff back. All right, let me clean up for a second, and then we'll pull out what we did tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. I know everybody's super busy this time of year. Don't forget, if you would like to get the make and takes for this, $50 or more before discounts or tax, or you could just purchase them for $22. All you have to do is email me, and then you can make these projects and have stuff pre-cut, which is really a time saver this time of year, right? To have your things pre-cut. All right, so we made the snowman cards in 2 different patterns, unfortunately. And we made our fun gift card holders. We've got that. We did our elves card. And then we have our little treat boxes. So lots of fun treats. Okay, a couple last words on this. If you would like the project measurement sheet, it has all the measurements, and it also has the all the order numbers for reference. This will be in my email that comes out tomorrow morning. If you don't want to be in my email list, no problem. Just email me and I'll send you this. No problem at all. Reminder for Paper Pumpkin, we already talked about it, but this is a really pretty stamp set if you wanted to take advantage and get the subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. All right, you guys, thank you very much. Thanks for the safe travel wishes. I appreciate it. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for watching, and everybody be safe. All right, thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.